Coach, you wanted to get us started with an opening statement?
Yeah, I mean, got through spring. You see some things we got guys in different positions, got a lot of good work in. We'll evaluate the film and see, and then start putting pieces in place to get ready for fall camp. Got a lot of work to do on both sides of the ball, and we know that coming out of spring. Always have, always will. And so now it's what we do between now and camp, getting in shape, becoming masters of our craft, studying film, those types of things. A lot of work on their own because there's going to be a lot of time on their own at times. Matters how good we can be, and then get into fall camp and have good pieces to have a good football team. Made a lot of development in a lot of key areas, and still got work to do in all areas. In all areas. So not disappointed at all, but about where I thought we would be.
All right, let's go to Brent Zorman from the Houston Chronicle.
Jimbo, is it difficult to get a true evaluation of your quarterbacks in that situation with an offensive line that's not going to look anything like it does in August and September, and also missing some key receivers as well?
Oh, it does. But again, everybody's worried about the quarterback. That's the least thing I'm worried about. I ain't worried about the quarterback. I'm worried about the pieces around them. We've got to play better around them. I think they're making tremendous progress right now, and I'm not saying that just for the quarterbacks. I am very pleased where they're at. They got to get better without a doubt. But there's a lot of pieces around them that need to get better, and it's always hard. In spring, it's always because you got a broken group. But that's still, to me, that reflects on who you are as a competitor and how you can adapt. Because, listen, the quarterback's got to take the guys he has and be able to be successful no matter what the situation is, and that's the key to the drill. But I thought we did that in a lot of occasions today, and we got to help around them.
Is it nice to have a long-range threat like Caden Davis? He really showed off his leg.
Yeah, that was something we wanted to see, and we didn't get much of that. We got some of that in camp, but having that, because Seth is awesome in what he does, but Caden having that ability to hit those long field goals, you don't know when you're going to need one, and he's a real weapon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Travis Brown from the Bryan College Station Eagle.
Hey, Coach, when you look at what Haynes King was able to do, there's in the, I think it was second quarter, you go for it on fourth down, he gets the speed option and throws that 26-yard completion. Is that kind of the best epitome of the athleticism and his ability that he showed today?
Well, I think it is, but I'm going to tell you what, you go back and watch how he threw the football. We had a big about a 25-yard drop in the first series. I think he had 4 or 5 drop balls in the first half we had on him that would put us in great scoring range and been big plays. So, I love his athleticism, but I think he's throwing the ball very well too.
And then you had Edrin Cooper doing a really good job flying around their linebacker. Be able to see from him today.
Same thing I've been seeing all camp. I really mean that. He's done a great job this spring. He's learning what to do and being more consistent on his reads and steps. But man, he can be talented. He can pull the pin and I say really run things down. And that's the way linebackers got to play today. You got to have athletic guys at that second level because of the spread situations that you're getting into. Very pleased with his performance.
Then mic'd up there in the first half. Does that change the way that you have to coach or catch yourself a little bit?
That's exactly the same way I do it I'm not changing for nobody.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, let's go to Casey for the battalion.
Hi, Coach Fisher. With Calzada and Stowers, what did you feel like they were doing right today, and what did you like from them?
I thought Calzada had a great command of what he did. He was accurate with the ball, threw it decisively, made a lot of good throws. Had drops on him too. I was very pleased with him. Made good plays with his legs. Made some really nice throws. I thought Zach had an outstanding day, and Eli Command did a good job. We got to throw the ball a little better, get a little better there. But he knows what he's doing. It's just he's young. He's got to get reps. That's the only thing he needs. But he's very athletic, and I think got a chance to be a really good player. I was pleased with Calzada especially.
Besides the 3 you've talked about, was there anything specific you were looking for when some other guys got reps?
Yeah, giving them opportunities, and as they work hard to be able to go in the game, and those guys can throw the football. You say, one of them should have been a long touchdown pass. I think we dropped one that was about a 50, 60-yard throw and had a chance. Those guys can all play. We're just pretty gifted there right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Owen Buchanan from Texas.
Well, actually, the things I was going to ask you, Jimbo, have been asked. But let me ask you about the pass rush. Obviously, there was a lot of sacks today, and you don't have a lot of your offensive linemen in there. Does that cancel out what you saw from the defense?
The other thing is we did it to keep pile. We didn't want a lot of piles, a lot of situations, and you didn't play with nub tight ends. When you're playing with short corners in this league, you better be able to pass rush, and you better be able to get home. And if you can't, you really got problems. We didn't play with tight ends. We didn't chip them. We didn't mud them. We didn't want to bust the ribs. We didn't want to chip and do things we would do normally in a protection that we would do even regularly all the time. So it can be, but we did get there, which is what they should have got there with the front, the coverages. I mean, the front we had up there along with the protection, because, it's tough, but they should have gotten pressure, whether they got sacks or not. And it's always, I will say this, and you usually don't get as many sacks when things go live as you do when, you put guys in a green jersey, but at the same time, we're learning to rush better. And we didn't have two great rush guys there today too. And remember, we didn't have Leal and Clemens in there either. So that would have really been tough blocking those guys.
And when you talk about guys around the quarterbacks, I saw one time that you seemed upset with Anias on a pass that Haynes threw to him. Is that what you're talking about?
Hey, we ran a route wrong, didn't get our head around right. Then 9 drops 2 balls. We have 2 drops right there on a big over route. We have another boot. I mean, you're talking about confidence for young guys and keeping drives and staying ahead of the sticks and not getting in 3rd and long because you should have had the other plays. And I mean, I'm not trying to point, but we had quite a few drop balls today, and not miscommunication on routes and timing that we were pretty much on time at quarterback, I thought. But we'll say this, and that's a lot of time you can get better over the summers and in the fall camp.
All right, thanks a lot, Jimbo.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Tyler Shaw from KBTX.
Coach, how important is this spring game, particularly to the freshmen, as a dress rehearsal where they're playing live in front of fans? It's not just another practice.
Well, I think it is to all of them, but those guys, they really get out there and start to get a feel. And I think it's the closest thing you can get to simulation of the nerves that you're going to get in a real game. And it's still going to be more than that. But, that's part of growing up and then, not letting the adrenaline and the things that get into that and being able to keep your composure and be able to execute. So and many times you can put them in that situation you need to.
And how well overall do you think your team did responding in that situation?
Okay. I mean, we'll look at the film. It's hard to judge when you're on the film until you really look at the film and see exactly why or when something happened or what you thought may be wrong. I mean, because sometimes when you're on the field, it's hard to see everything. We'll make sure we evaluate that. But for the most part, our composure and things like that were really good.
All right, we have a couple more questions left. We'll go to Jennifer Streeter from the Italian and then Gabe.
Hi, Coach. With your 2-year leading tackler, Buddy Johnson, going to the draft, how good was it to kind of see those players like Ryan Williams and Gary and Cooper step up? And overall, how did you feel about your defensive performance?
Good. I thought,
today?
Terry and Lee's played great all spring. Cooper, all those guys have done a really nice job. And it was good. Those guys are all, you're the next generation of guys that has to step in, and that's what you're here for. And I think they'll do a really nice job. I think we got good talent there, and it's just we got to get them to master everything they're doing. But you see the ability they have.
And then last question for you. We saw Damon Demas and a couple other players not in pads today. What's kind of the status with that? Can we get a status update?
Oh, they'll be fine. They're just banged up, couldn't play. If we had it next week, they'd be able to play. But they were just held out.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, last questions from Gabe Bach, the Texags.
Yeah, Jimbo, is it safe to say Edgerrin Cooper's leading the way in that quest to replace Buddy?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think he's one of them. He'll be in that group, and hopefully we'll evaluate the film. But he's definitely in the mix. There's no show we're not disappointed in. There's quite a few guys will be in there, and but I like what I saw today.
And then how about Devin Price? Made some tough catches. What kind of springs he had, and what impressions?
Solid. I was glad for him to step up. He had some really good days, and he had some days he kind of, we were just okay. And I was very glad to see him step up today. He made some really nice plays. I was happy for him and happy for us because he can be a good player.
Thank you, Jimbo.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the questions we have for you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.